So anytime you're ready.
All right, we're here at Third Eye Carnival. Thank you to Steve and the Last American Vagabond and everyone that's been involved with setting this up. I think that events like these are really, really extremely important because the way that the world that we live in now, even just doing my research and stuff, it's stuff that's so out of the frame of mind of the average person because of how much we're spoon-fed that it can feel isolating, especially on the internet and all of these echo chambers and stuff. So being able to have this opportunity to connect with like-minded people and network and show that you're not alone out there, I think is so important. And especially the fact that there's so much censorship out there and the way that they're sort of corralling everybody into these thought bubbles and things like that. The freedom of exchange of information and ideas is so limited. So I want to thank you, to everybody that's been involved in setting these things up and getting everything going. And I think that having more events like this where we can meet in person and share and connect and just live life and be human is so incredibly important. And to all the researchers out there and people that just contribute to the truth in their own ways, I share information and stuff as well, talking to people and trying to get people aware. And moving to in-person things is the only way they can't censor you these days. And I think that connecting effectively like this is paramount, and it's going to be something that we need to continue to do in the future.
Okay, and then talk about because this is kind of like I said, a hybrid between all the people here. Talk about yourself, your research, what you're about, where you come from, and however far you want to go with that and take it.
Absolutely. So waking up, kind of seeing the whole truth, had this eureka moment that what's coming it's here to stay for as long as they're wanting to keep people involved and sucked into the politics and things like that. And when I finally figured everything out, I had this epiphany moment. I almost had an existential crisis, you would say, or a spiritual awakening. And I felt compelled to drop everything that I was doing and dedicate my entire life and time and energy and focus to trying to wake people up and avoid making the same mistakes that I did and all the mistakes that I see people make, falling into these false narratives and being led astray by people that are just seeking to profit from them or gain attention or have like power and influence over people. And I think that it's important to operate in a sort of way that's humble and consistent. I'm just an average guy. I've never done any sort of like journalism. I don't have any college education experience or anything. And I'm fascinated with this huge machine that they've laid out, and it blew my mind. And I think that it's very important for people to be aware of these things. Black pill gets thrown around a lot. And that's just a way to sort of discredit people that are sharing truths that make others uncomfortable. But it is the truth, and the truth is what will empower you and set you free.
Okay, that's fantastic. So what are we up against, and what's the solution to it?
So we're up against basically a global cabal of these sadistic, satanic, worshiping demons, essentially, that they prey on people's ignorance, they prey on people's insecurity and inability to cope with the reality around them, and they're setting up a global digital prison. We have digital ID, we have central banking digital currencies right around the world, or right around the corner. We have endless wars that have been going on. We're seeing the imperialistic expansion of the Greater Israel Project going on as well. Cabalists, Sabbateans, the Rothschild banking industry is fueling all of it. We have people like Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Donald Trump that are helping to usher this in the West. We're already seeing the downfall of the American economy. They're attempting to crash the dollar so that they can bring about this digital currency and make us all slaves to the 15-minute cities and putting brain chips in your head. And it's all eugenics and pushed by people for hundreds of years, going back to like the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, Rothschilds again, and it's dystopia. It's tyranny.
Okay, and what's the solution?
The solution would be to first, you want to save yourself. You want to get away from big food. You want to get away from big pharma. You want to stop empowering these people with your energy, your attention, and especially your money, your value. And I would say that connecting with local farmers and locally networking with people, and finding ways to connect with people in person, very much like this event here. Everything is a market on Earth, and that requires your participation in order to continue be successful. So the more people that we can pull out of this market of control, the sooner that it goes away.
Fucking awesome. Great.